Delta MSG Studios, Bill Peter along with Alan Honeywell is Zerbiak. So what's it mean? Knicks now are up 3-2. There will be a game 6 Friday night, 7:30 pregame here. The game's at 8. Hour-long postgame show, as always, after game number 6. We began the night, Wally. We wondered about what would be the impact with no Jason Tatum, and it was 59 all at the half. No Tatum didn't matter because the Celtics dominated the second half. How'd they do it?
Well, it's evident the champs are not going away, and they did it by just elevating their games. In the playoffs, if you want to win in this league, in the NBA playoffs, you better play well. And the Knicks had guys that did not play well. They're capable of playing a lot better. They couldn't compete with the Celtics in the second half. They got a heroic effort by Luke Cornett. The Knicks were not prepared for that at all. Now they'll get that film. They'll adjust. They'll see what Luke Cornett brings, because he brings a different aspect to the Boston Celtics defense. Blocked all kinds of shots, 7. in all, and they're going to have to adjust because KP is not right. KP's not going to play, and Luke Cornett's going to get the minutes, and he deserves the minutes over KP.
This game turned in the second quarter because there was a moment there where the Knicks looked like that they were very much in control. They had a 9-point lead, and they looked like they were finding their offense, and defensively everything was fine. Even though Derek White got off to a hot start, it just felt like the Knicks were starting to take control of the game. And then they started turning the ball over. Then they missed a couple of shots, had a couple of bad offensive possessions. Boston went on a 13-2 run. The building got up. And then things started to, belief started to build in Boston. And so 59 all at the half, and you're thinking, okay, third quarter, here we go again. Just like game 4, whoever wins the third quarter is probably going to win this game. Brunson had a great third quarter in game 4. He had a nightmare of a third quarter in game 5. 5 fouls in 6 points, but 5 fouls in 1 quarter for your star player, and it really went downhill from there. Boston came out, played physical, and you could just tell. What was the phrase you used? Rudy Tomjanovich, right? You
never underestimate the heart of a champion.
Exactly. That's what you saw from the Celtics in that third quarter.
So Brunson had the foul trouble, actually ended up fouling out. Cat, pretty much ineffective, had foul trouble throughout the game. And when you go back to that third quarter, we've mentioned Cornett had 7 blocks. 5 came in that third quarter. 5 alone, guys. And the Celtics won that decisive third quarter, 32-17. Knicks were down by double digits in the third quarter. Alan, you're thinking the Knicks have the Celtics right where they want them? Not tonight.
And they went right after Jalen Brunson. You see a lot of physicality going after him. And how was Derek White always left open at some point? You pick him up full court and stick on him. But that just kept happening. The open looks for Derek White were maddening. The double screens and the pick-and-roll defense by the Knicks really started to fall apart after it looked like they figured something out in game 4. And you see here, there's Cornett. He was everywhere. He was playing off Josh Hart, and he was just helping off. He never had to worry about it. There's a pick-and-roll defense issue as well. But, man, it just everything fell apart for the Knicks offensively and defensively.
What is the metric here, Alan, going forward? What do the Celtics need to shoot to keep winning like this? Well, because obviously 22 of 49, again, when you do that from downtown. Now, when we've seen them go south, the Knicks win the game. What should we focus on, you think, in terms of the Celtics?
That is the formula for them.
But what's the percentage? 40% or higher for them to win?
36, 37% or higher for them to win? Yes, they're going to put up a ton. And it's hard for you to keep up with them when they are putting up that many.
Yeah, well, listen, the Knicks, they better learn from this game and know the Celtics are for real. They shot 22 for 49.
Well, isn't this game 3?
And I didn't think they were going to be able to generate that many good looks without Jason Tatum in the lineup. Their offense looked a lot more fluid to me than with Jason Tatum just dribbling it the whole time and shooting step-back threes from 25 feet. That ball's moving. They are generating good looks. That's worrisome for the Knicks. Now, OG Anunoby, 1 for 12. Cat, stupid fouls. Mikal Bridges, 4 for 14. You're not beating these guys playing like that.
Right.
Knicks got to be on notice. If they want to go to the Eastern Conference Finals and be one of the top 4 teams in the NBA, you cannot play like that. You got to play better at home if you want to knock these guys off and see the Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals. Point blank. Everyone did not play well. Maybe Mitchell Robinson had a good first half. That's it. You're not beating these guys playing like that. Guys got to play better on Friday.
Now, we know Luke Cornett, of course, a little bit. Was a bench player here when he began his career with the Knicks. I'd like to be his agent. He's an unrestricted free agent. How much tonight with 10 points, and 9 rebounds, and Wally 7 blocks.
And
I mentioned 5 of those 7 in the third quarter.
And how about the Vanderbilt smarts? I mean, that guy for a big man, does he know how to play the game or what?
Yep.
He was in the right place at the right time. If there was a mismatch underneath and Cat had a layup, he came out and just swept it away. Look at this, Smarts just guarding Josh Hart. He was able to kind of cheat off him a little bit, use his size, not commit fouls. I mean, just a brilliant performance. And he is a lot more athletic than I remember him coming out of college.
He moves better than KP.
Yes, he's put in the work to improve his athleticism. And with that kind of size and length, he has long arms. He is using it. He is playing the angles perfectly. An outstanding game by Luke Cornett. And now the Knicks have to be ready, because it's evident that KP is not the guy that's going to hurt him, because KP is a shell of himself for whatever reason, and Luke Cornett has taken over the 5 spot for the Boston Celtics, and the Knicks better be ready for him.
Amazing. I mean,
it's just, again, what you look for in these games that you're trying to
You're not
survive.
looking for Luke Cornett to do that, I'll tell you.
But if you're,
But that's what happens in the playoffs.
Yes. If you're Boston,
especially at home,
you know your main guys. Jalen Brown, he's got to show up. He did.
Yep.
By the way, Brown had a career-high 12 assists. You talk about the ball moving. It really helped.
Well, they ran a lot of those. The staggered double screen at the top of the key was giving the Knicks all kinds of fits, and that was really the beginning of it. But getting back to Cornett, it's when you are trying to survive, which is literally what the Celtics were doing, you're waiting for who is going to be the guy that you're not expecting, who's going to come up and have that big game, a big moment. Usually it's a guy off the bench who's ready. He was ready. And when he got into this game, he affected it immediately. And in that third quarter, when everything turned, it felt like he was everywhere, because he was. He was sitting in the paint. The Knicks struggled with their shooting in the paint. They were at 34% paint shooting. They could not score in the paint, at 43% in the painted area, mainly because they were dealing with size every time they got in there.
How about Derek White, guys? He's another guy Boston got. He played his best basketball by far as a Celtic. He made 7 threes, Allen, his career high in a single game is 9 made threes.
Yes.
His career high in a playoff game in terms of points is 38. He went to 34. So the Celtics had to have.
Let's count how many times.
They had to have this kind of performance from Derek White.
How often is he wide open? There's
wide
one.
Open.
Wide open.
Yeah.
Right? How often is he
offense.
wide open? Here we go. This is off a screen, and we're going to play drop, so he's going to shoot that. You know he's going to shoot that. You got to crowd the 3. Let's see. Oh, walking into a 3 because not being picked up in transition. Another wide open. It's by now you got to know who he is. You played him 5 times. That's an easy catch and shoot. No pressure, no nothing. Wally, wouldn't you love to have these shots?
Well, the Knicks did not play well on both ends of the floor. I couldn't agree with you more, Alan. How you don't know
Pick him
to
up
not
at the
let
bench.
this guy open, especially without a guy like Tatum, who you don't have to double team really anyone on their team right now. Like, you just have to stay home on certain guys. You got to play a lot smarter defense. Tom Thibodeau is going to have to dissect this film big time and make some huge, massive adjustments.
In what way, Wally?
Well, wouldn't you treat White as if, like, okay, so Tatum and Brown, now it's White and Brown.
Right,
Like,
of course.
treat White as if he's a superstar.
Yes.
Right?
And you have to be ready for those double high pick and rolls like you mentioned. You have to be ready for the ball swinging from side to side and not locking in on one side.
Yep.
It's much tougher to defend when that defense is moving to the other side and then the pick and roll's coming. And they have 3-4 guys now that the Knicks have to prepare for. Brown, White, Pritchard can run pick and roll at a high level too, and also Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday pitched in a couple threes. He's a point guard that can run some stuff. So the Knicks overall, they have to completely refocus their attention, because their attention was not what it takes to knock out this Boston Celtics.
Do you think it's possible they were not used to the way Boston was going to move the ball without Tatum? I mean, did that change the dynamic?
I think they're
the Celtics had 27 assists tonight.
I think Allen hit the nail on the head. When they were up 9 in the first half, you had the Celtics doubting themselves.
It was quiet in the building.
It was quiet in the building. They didn't know what they were capable of. They knocked down a few threes. They got back in the game. They gained their confidence. And once the Knicks let them gain their confidence, now they're in for a real fight in Game 6, because this team has found their confidence and they're playing at a high level.
All right, guys, let's bring in Monica McNutt from Boston. As always, she helped call the game on the radio on ESPN New York. Monica, tie game at the half. What happened to the Knicks in the second half?
Guys, yuck.
Hello.
Let me just say
What was that?
Our vantage point, I said, guys, yuck. It's a sentiment. Just come on, go with it. Our vantage point here in Boston is sort of cat-a-corner. It's closer to the Celtics bench. Third quarter, shortly after the skirmish, the double text, Jaylen Brown, Josh Hart, you could see Jaylen Brown standing up in the timeout, talking to his guys, and this is my best attempt at lip reading. The sentiment was, let's go, let's get this win. Don't let these guys win again on our home court. And he played that way. He was pretty close to a triple-double. It got his double-double for sure. 2 rebounds shy of a triple-double. As I suspected, Derek White continues to be problematic. And I don't know that it was intentional on the part of Joe Mazzulla, but it did feel almost reverse psychology-ish in that the Knicks are accustomed to being down and having to dig into the third quarter. And so to feel like they had checked the box, so to speak, at halftime, I actually think backfired. I would also add that Tom Thibodeau said pregame they were doing a great job of playing off of one another. There was no such appearance of that team in the third quarter.